All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Juice is Loose, number 79. I'm your host, Terminator Juice, and tonight I'm joined by
Mr. T-Foods.
Whoa, what's up, guys? The Insane Game Freak.
It is Weird 363 with me, or Robert.
All right, what's up, guys? Glad to have you back. We got another podcast. We got lots to talk about, so let's get right into it. I'm really the only one that played X, so I'm just going to quickly just give some updates and something I learned from last week. We had a few, I'll say. I'm not going to say a lot. We had 3 or 4 people basically calling us dumbasses for not knowing something. So basically I hit Blade rank 10. I maxed out the Blade rank or level. I forget what it's called, if it's level or rank. When you unlock that, obviously you can upgrade your 3 attributes, mechanical, biological, archaeological, or whatever that word is. God, it's so hard.
Archaeological.
And this is why you're a gamer, not an English teacher.
And I had biological at 3, so I upped that to 4, and actually that opened up a bunch of new missions, like level 2-star and 3-star, like basic missions on the mission board. So that was cool. And then I did the off the record to get my archaeological.
Stop it! Stop it!
Nuclear.
We're dying. I'm
To get to
dying.
level 5. I messed it up on purpose that time, but I got that to 5, and started backtracking to all the places I knew that I needed that level 5 to get like segments complete. So, and then I got a level 60 Skell. I went to the menu for build weapons and the skull frames or whatever. It showed a new one, and I had everything I needed for this badass looking. It's a heavy skull. It has like 25,000 HP. So it was for free. Like all I had to do was 10,000 uranium and the items that I had, and it's pretty beast. So I'm happy. And then took down a level 90 Tyrant in Noctilum, but it was a little bug, and it went down pretty damn easy. So I gained a lot. That's how I got like ranked up real quick. Because it's like, I don't know if I want to, it's not really a spoiler, but in Noctilum there's an area where it's this giant red plant-like thing. It was inside that. So, there was just never-ending respawning level 60, like, same size enemies, just non-tyrant forms. So it's a good place to level up stuff if you're looking to level up characters. And then the thing that everyone was like, duh, we were talking about affinity, gaining affinity, and how difficult it was post beating the game. These support missions open up on the online hub inside the barracks where you go to get your reward tickets for the division rewards and use your reward tickets to buy items. It's called support missions. There's ones for XP. There's ones for Moranium or
Yeah.
and then there's one for Affinity, and the last Affinity one's actually pretty easy. Takes like 5 minutes, and you get a quarter Affinity heart with each time you complete it. So I want to thank everybody for letting me know, because I was really struggling, and now that I know that, it helped me. I got L up to like Affinity 3. I did his Affinity mission, and that opened up another one. So that was really helpful. So I thank the people that let me know. I know Steel Fox told me that a while back, and then I forgot where it was. And it even says it when you finish the game, and I had forgotten. So that was really cool. And I actually feel like I've caught my second wind with that game. And I already put like 15 hours in it since last podcast. So yeah, great game, and I'm actually going to be sad when Twilight Princess comes out, because then I'm going to stop playing X for a while. So that's my X update. No one else really played it. I know Robert got some new games.
Well,
Robert
I played one Affinity mission. So.
Who was it? Wait, who was it for? Which Affinity? Which character?
It was the one with the cat. I don't know what it was.
Oh, God.
You had to find the cat, and then
Is that really an Affinity mission, or just like
Yeah.
I thought that was just a side mission.
No, it was an Affinity mission. It had the whole cutscenes and everything, and it's like, he found my cat or whatever, and then you fought him.
But that should be based on a character, aren't most Affinity missions?
I think it's Gwen. but like Gwen's friend or something.
Mm. Okay, so you did do something.
Yeah, one thing. It was fun.
I did some stuff. Damn it. I didn't do much because for some reason I got the itch to play Fatal Frame again. So I went and replayed Ayane's missions, which is just extra bonus stuff. But as far as X is concerned, I did some of the. I started messing around with the Manon-based side missions, like the one where there's like this murderer that's going around. That's
a long one, ain't it?
Yeah, it took me a while. And then what's the I don't know, I don't remember these creatures' names, but they're like the fifth race you find that isn't like a part of a main story mission.
Rothian?
No, not Rothians.
Oh yeah, the ones are they the ones that clean up? They like always have like the.
They're like they kind of look like insects, and the first side mission I did with them, I found out how they like reproduce.
Oh
yeah,
yep.
So you
starts with the O, I believe.
Yeah, you do know what I'm talking about, though, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Man, you just like I've been dealing with those guys since like chapter 4 or 5.
Because I didn't go out of my way to look for them. Also, because I was trying to find murder. There's like a side mission you got to do for Murderous. A side mission you got to do before you can do Murderous's Affinity Event mission. And I'm like, where the hell is this damn mission? And then I look online, it's like, oh no, you got to do all the water plant shit, like the water plant stuff, to get to the mission, for the mission to unlock for you to do the mission. And I'm like, I still don't know what part of the water. Like, we're in the water.
Water filtration.
I don't know where I am in the saga to find, like, what's the next thing I gotta do in order to get to, like, the actual mission. So it's a lot of intricate stuff. I grinded up, leveled up L and Murderous and Fog, and I went back and I did some Hopes leveling up. And then I started L's Affinity mission, and I'm in the middle of it right now. That was the last thing I did, and then I jumped the Fatal Frame, and for some reason I'm in the mood to play it again for whatever reason, which is really bad considering what happens on Friday, where don't fucking talk to me because Fire Emblem's gonna be out. So don't. I'm serious. Monday, I don't want Juice to be like X. Nah, what? What the hell is X?
You'll probably be the only one playing Fire Emblem, so we'll just get your take on it next Monday. But that was the next thing I wanted to ask. It's coming out, this Friday?
Yep.
And there's definitely no direct beforehand, and they're not. Yeah. They don't even seem to be promoting it. Probably equal to Twilight Princess HD. I mean, there's some.
It's getting the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And people already got the review copies and stuff.
As big as Awakening was, it just seems like it's getting, I don't know, it doesn't seem like they are hyping it up as much as they probably should have.
That's partially probably due to all the controversy that's been around the whole censorship things with the petting and the damn, oh, they took out the controversial scene of drugging and all that other stuff. I know from listening to games, I've been looking up Fire Emblem Fates stuff I'm trying to avoid spoilers and look up information on the game at the same time. It's a terrible thing to do, but I've literally hit that wall where I can't take it, and I just need as much Fire Emblem Fates shit I can get. So I was looking at GameSpot's like pre-review discussion on it, and I know the reviews go up for that this Wednesday. But from what I understand, at least review-wise, I think this thing will score well because I haven't heard any real negative things about it from reviewers. As far as how it will do market-wise, considering that special edition sold out really fucking quick, I think it'll do relatively well, and I know it did better than Awakening in Japan, so
yeah, it would be.
I think it'll be fine.
It'll be interesting. Guess we'll have to wait and see on how popular it is, if it can, because usually sequels like come out of the gate doing big numbers and stuff, and it should exceed Awakening, but I don't know if it's just timing or what. But
I think it'll be fine, primarily because the last few 3DS games we got, I know, have very mixed reception. Like Mario & Luigi Paper Jam and Final Fantasy Explorers both kind of got mediocre scores.
Yep.
So I think it could be just that lull of like, oh, here are these 3DS RPGs. last 2 months are pretty whatever. I mean, I think Project X Zone comes out at some point. Actually, is that this week? I don't even know.
I'm not sure.
I honestly don't know.
I played the demo for it, but I haven't. I think it comes out because I just saw Nintendo Everything post a review for it. So apparently, it might be coming out relatively soon. But whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, you got the special edition, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
It's gonna be rough.
it's interesting that it's all the special edition. You get the third thing right away. It's on the cart.
Yeah.
You don't have to download it, and all 3 games are on the single cart. So that
Yeah.
if I would have known that, like that's to me a bigger selling point than any of the extra stuff, because like that's just because you start the game and it just starts, and then you choose a side, and then it would be like if you only bought one of the games at that point.
Yeah, because well, actually, just to explain what happens if you just buy like a single version, they can all still technically be on the same cart. It's just that when you buy Birthright, I think Birthright is automatically Birthright I think is automatically on it, and if you want to play Conquest, you just download it from the eShop for $20 but it's still all in one cart. Like it's like people keep thinking you gotta buy Birthright and Nord. You don't have to buy 2 game carts to play each version.
Okay, but I guess if you wanted 2 cases, but
Yeah.
I wonder if it's on the cart and you just pay for access, which would be a whole nother issue of BS, I'm sure.
I think well, it could be because it could go either way, but to me, I think what it is that you're downloading it from because from what I heard, if you got just like Birthright or you got just Conquest, to get the other version, it takes you to the eShop. So my assumption is that it's not on the cart. You got to download it from the eShop first.
Mm-hmm. Or it downloads a smaller file, like let's say then if you just downloaded the whole game by itself versus if you had the other one on a cart. It's interesting the way they're doing it. I can't say I'm 100% on board with how they're doing it, but
I'm not mad, but it's also because to me it's like you give. I hated how people got mad at this, but gave Pokemon a pass for like all the years because to me Pokemon's had less of a reason to do it, and they've done it. They've been doing it since jump. And maybe that's because what it is like because to me, I feel like, and I think I've said this before, I feel like the reason why they're even doing it this way is because they realize that Fire Emblem now has 2 separate fan bases. It has the Awakening fan base and the traditional Fire Emblem fan base. Like I feel like a lot of the hardcore fans don't care for Awakening style in certain aspects. So I feel like they may learn to just like, you know what, for the hardcore fans, here's Conquest, and for the casual Awakening type fans, here's Birthright. But that's just me.
Yeah, it does to me though, just because I'm not a diehard fan. I think this game would have way more hype and would do way better if it was just a single game. Like I'm not on the side where I believe that the 2 versions are justified, but like buying them separately as 2 separate cartridges. But if it's only $20 to get the other version, then it's like $60 basically total. But still, I think it was them just saying, Fire Emblem's pretty huge now. Let's try to make as much money off it as we can. But I haven't played it and I haven't seen enough to know for sure. But if they say it's 2 completely full games.
Well, from what I've looked up, it is because they both, you don't do the same maps in either one of them. They're completely different maps. All your characters except for like 2 or 3 are completely different. You can only get certain classes in certain versions. And I know the story is completely different. So I think it's more, to me, it's more than enough.
Yeah, if they would have put them both on the same cart from the get-go, then half the people probably wouldn't even have taken the time to try the other.
Yeah, because the problem is that because I mean, hell, the game has like 9 save slots, so it's expecting you to play all of them anyway. The problem is that a lot of people like Awakening because of how casual friendly it was, and
well, those are just options, though. I mean, you didn't have to turn them on. That's the thing. That's the thing that I get sick of hearing. It's like you don't have to play like that. If you like Fire Emblem the way it was, then you can play it that way. Like it's not affecting them, but it's like I told you, Steel Fox wouldn't even play the game because those features exist. And
Which actually, that brings up another. Well, I'm not gonna. I'll say this. I saw a video of someone saying something very similar. Like they're not buying the game because of the fandom that came in through Awakening. Like
so stupid.
It's I know the person, and he's somewhat popular in the Nintendo community. I won't say his name, but he's apparently been like a Fire Emblem fan since like it came out in the U.S. And one of his biggest things is how Awakening felt like a departure from the series, and to him it feels like Fire Emblem is sold out in a way. And to me, I was like, so you're mad. Well, to me, it's like you're mad at the fan base that revived the franchise. Like, is that what you're? Because it's like, oh, I don't like the fan base from Awakening, and he wants to throw out the whole anime weeaboo shit, which I fucking hate that. I absolutely hate. Shokyo
I would be much happier if it was gone.
Well,
but
if nobody was buying it still, and then it would went away.
Yeah, and it's
I'm about to say.
It's like people complain about 3D World and the white Tanuki suit. It's
Right.
like, oh, it's an easy mode. Why are they making the game easier? I've never used it once. Never used it once. And that was one of the hardest Mario games I've ever played, especially the later levels. And it's like, why are you mad about something that's not there for you? Are you going to be too tempted to use it? Like, I don't understand that. It's the same with the Fire Emblem, and probably make some people mad, but I think that's the dumbest thing I could in gaming is that, oh my god, they added stuff that makes it more casual friendly, completely optional, and people get mad about that. Like, that's stupid. Just play it the way you want to play it. Play it on the harder, play it where the characters die, permadeaths on, whatever. Play it that way. It doesn't affect you just because those other options are there. And I know I'm harping on Steel Fox again. He doesn't listen to the podcast very often, so I know he's not going to listen. But Dark Souls 2 or 3, whatever one, was going to have a difficulty setting. I don't know if they did it, but there was talk that they were going to have like where you could choose easy, normal, and hard. And he wasn't going to buy the game, even though you can just play it on hard still. He wasn't going to buy the game, and he said it's because of the online leaderboards or something. Would be skewed, and I'm just like, if you just like to play the game and you like it to be hard, then just play on hard. Who cares if they add an easy mode?
It's that whole obsession with like, well, I want my franchise was known for being hard as hell, so I want it to remain hard as hell. You know, here's my thing. The biggest problem with it being hard as hell is your franchise doesn't make money when it can only appeal to one fan.
We need to save this part till the end, the main topic, the entitled gamer.
Oh, okay.
That would fit in perfectly. I didn't mean to steer it that way. Right?
It's fine.
But anyway, we were just talking about Fire Emblem and how they split into two games, and kind of, I wasn't planning on taking that approach, but I the more I think about it, the more I feel like it should have been on. They shouldn't have done the split game thing. I don't know. What do you think?
It's absolutely fine with me. It's not like we haven't had this in other series.
Yeah, Pokemon does it all the time.
Right. So that's mainly the reason it doesn't bother me. And I mean, if you get just the main game, you're getting a full game. It's not like you're not getting a full featured, full game. You're still getting, a full game. This is just more. This is like DLC. It's like, that's basically what it is. It's like DLC content. You can decide whether to buy that content or not. And it's just like any other game. So, doesn't bother me at all.
And the fact that they make the download, if you buy one and download the other, it's only $20. It's not like you have to pay $40 for the digital version. If you buy both games, you're basically paying $60 for two 3DS games. So I mean, it's not terrible. It's not like the worst thing I've ever heard, but I think it would have been received way better because it doesn't seem like a whole lot of people are excited, especially after how well Awakening was received. And I think that splitting the game into two versions, I think is in the long run it's gonna probably hurt it. It might not even sell as well as Awakening.
Well, I didn't think it would sell as well as Awakening regardless. I mean, Awakening was kind of flash in the pan, if you will.
Yeah, because nobody was expecting that game to be.
Nobody was expecting Awakening to sell well. You know, Nintendo was talking about it being the last one, basically.
Yeah, right.
So,
I remember I bought that game on a whim. I didn't buy that game because of the hype. I was just like, oh, well, I haven't tried a series.
Yeah, it wasn't hype for me either. It was just like last Fire Emblem game I played was on GameCube, so and I wasn't too fond of it. I mean, it was okay. I can't remember the name of it, but
you're probably talking about Ike's game, Path of Radiance.
Path of Radiance, thank you. Yeah, Path of Radiance. And you know, I just said, let me give another Fire Emblem a shot here, and it just happened to be a pretty damn good one. So, I didn't expect this game to do that great. I think with them splitting it is a product of you know, a product of them wanting to give more to the fans because people responded to Awakening. So I don't think they said, oh, we can make more money by gouging people. I just think they wanted to give more because, I mean, like I said, it's the same game, just from a different perspective, you know. Does that happen in any game where you buy a game and then like, oh, there's a whole nother mode that's from a different perspective? I don't remember any game that does that.
No, I can't think of one.
So it is add-on. It is something additional. It's not like they're making you buy, you know, part of the game. So that's why it doesn't bother me. Like, but people, you know, will find, you know, issues with it, which is fine. Which is fine with me. I mean, some people might find issue with it, but I don't have a problem with it.
I definitely heard not a lot, but I heard enough people when they first revealed it saying, I hope it's not 2 games. I definitely think that affected people's excitement. If this was just a new Fire Emblem and it was just brand new game on a single game, I just believe there would be a lot more excitement towards it.
I didn't think I don't think when they heard that, they didn't really understand what that meant. You know,
definitely didn't know.
It was a kind of a quick reaction to it, and honestly, I believe like whoever wants to play Fire Emblem is gonna buy the next Fire Emblem, and sometimes I feel like some people complain about it because Awakening got so much hype, and this is a game I should have, and a lot of people bought it based on that, and they're looking for a reason to not buy the next one because they didn't really care about Fire Emblem to begin with. You know, it just feels like that's what it feels like to me. It's just like, oh, there's an excuse for me to get out of here. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Awakening for me, I played it on casual. I'm not gonna lie. Probably took away a lot of the tension that I would have felt in the battles, but I lost like in the first, I don't know, I want to say 10 hours that I played it, I lost a character every battle. Like, they revive after the battle on casual. And if I would have lost them for good, I probably wouldn't have played. I probably would have quit playing the game.
Yeah, I'll say people gotta realize
Fire Emblem
Yeah, I was like people gotta realize Fire Emblem is not. Fire Emblem is an intimidating franchise based on its premise. Its premise, the thing that like everyone knows Fire Emblem for is, oh yeah, your characters die and you don't get them back. It's like, what, like how is that supposed to be appealing to like a new generation of gamers? Like, it's like, oh my god, I want to play a game where everything's hard as hell.
And the generation of regenerating health, just hiding behind a cover, like yeah. I mean, that's a great point there, Terrell. I mean, I think that's exactly what it is. You can't really sell Fire Emblem to those guys unless you do something like, making a casual mode.
It's almost like making Metroid a little more mass market appeal, like your video, like
my video was saying, yeah, like.
So it was probably for the better, and like I said, I would have probably said, "What the hell is this crap? I ain't playing this. Characters are gone. Like that's stupid to me. I still don't know if I ever want to try playing it with the permadeath turned on. I think I started at like the very beginning, and I didn't feel like it.
Yeah, like imagine playing Xenoblade and like when your teammates die and they just don't come back, bro.
That's terrible.
Like imagine how that would be.
At least there'd be a plot explanation for why.
Yeah. So anyway, let's quickly talk about Twilight Princess HD. Basically, with Fire Emblem and Twilight Princess getting a lot of YouTube info, there's not going to be a direct before March.
No.
There's
nope.
No chance in hell. So it's almost they're using Nintendo Minute and just their YouTube channel basically. obviously Game Explain and other sites have the final build of Twilight Princess. There have been preview videos and stuff. So there's no direct, but the latest Twilight Princess video was like 5 minutes, and it was showing off all the new features. So we finally got official, and they showed off. You know, it's just basically Wind Waker. You can drag your items onto the button icons on the touch screen.
Quick question though. Can you call yourself a trailer if you're 5 minutes long?
Yeah, it's more of an informational video, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a trailer, but it was a YouTube video, and you know, they showed a lot of the things. Basically, like I said, it's everything Wind Waker had, plus instead of fast travel or fast sailing, they have the tap to switch to Link, Wolf Link, back and forth. And they just showed a lot of the different areas. They really highlighted the visuals in the game, and
it does look really good.
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Of course, first comment I saw, man, this game looks so bad. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess if you compared it to like Rise of the Tomb Raider or something, or Halo 5, if you didn't have in any context knowing that this game's from 2006.
And I think even with that context, it doesn't look bad.
No, it doesn't.
It just doesn't look
bad.
Like great. You know, like it's clean as hell. It's got sharp textures. Like, come on, come on.
Yeah, you know, you're always gonna see that. Most people were like, "Man, this game looks good." The Link amiibo the Wolf Link amiibo, which we talked about a couple podcasts ago, looks awesome. This wasn't like on my really high on my list of most anticipated games, but now it's a lot higher, and it's not just the graphics, just confirmation about the gamepad and the gyro, and it does, like, all the new textures. I mean, it does look great. And I wanted to point out something because I listened to the Player Essence podcast that Meza T was on, and Super Metal Dave, and dang, I just lost my train of thought. God, I was trying to remember his name, and I lost my.
Yeah, no, man.
His brain fell on the floor, so let me go pick this up.
Yeah, the Alzheimer's.
What were you guys talking about?
Twilight Princess.
I know. There was one specific thing. There was one you guys kept saying. I wish I was there to add on and to remind you of something.
When we were talking about it?
The Wolf Link amiibo?
God damn it. I was so focused on not messing up his name.
Messing up what, Super Metal Dave's name? You screwed. You completely forgot. See, this is what happens when you get old, folks.
Yep.
We only doing one take, folks. No cuts today.
Yep.
Maybe
it might come back
Juice,
to me. It might
come back to Grandpa Juice a little later.
So, yeah, I was talking about Twilight Princess, and God, it was just something.
The Wolf Link amiibo.
Francis kept saying something, and I'm just like, I wanted to just. It wasn't like I was mad about it. It was just something he was missing. Something you guys were missing. So, but anyway, what did you guys' thoughts on just like that? You saw like the snow areas. We saw a lot of the different areas. I don't know, T. I don't know if you have anything you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, it like I was saying, it definitely looks a lot better than the first reveal of it. I know it had a lot to do with the stream and all that stuff. It pops a little bit more. And the thing about it for me is with this last quote-unquote trailer, it just reminded me of a lot of stuff that I just had forgotten about the game.
Exactly.
Like remember, I haven't played this game, me personally, in 10 years. I last played it, it'll be 10 years this fall. Right when I got my Wii, I bought it with my Wii. It was one of the launch games I bought. And I beat it before Christmas. And I hadn't played it since. I didn't touch it again, because a lot of people complain about like how it starts, and I just kind of never went back and played it again. It was one of the few 3D Zeldas or Zelda Spirit that I just didn't play more than once, and so a lot of this stuff that was happening, I just had forgotten. So to me, it's gonna be almost a new experience again, because I hadn't played it in so long.
Exactly.
So I'm looking forward to playing it now, and with the fixes that's been put in, I'm looking forward to that, making the game a little bit more what's the word I'm
Less
looking
tedious.
for? Less tedious. There you go, less tedious.
Because you climb way faster. I hope there's other things that they sped up.
Right, the transformation stuff, like transform into the wolf, like all that whole sequence. It was a sequence you had to go through.
Yeah, you had to like press start, then talk to
Yeah.
Midna, then transform.
Yeah,
So
that's
that'll-
gone, thank goodness. So stuff like that's just going to make it more streamlined and more fun to play. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Terrell's gonna be playing Fire Emblem, so he don't even care.
Well, in March,
Oh, yeah.
in March, I'm looking forward to Pokken Tournament, son. That's all.
Okay, tournament.
That's what I'm gonna be playing.
Robert, did you play Twilight Princess?
I played some of it. I bought it last year in January, and and yeah, I played a good amount of it, and then I picked up Majora's Mask, and I didn't play it anymore. And
That's what I'm trying to.
Most people say Majora's Mask is the better game, so I mean.
I don't think so. But
That's not. No, I
And
don't
then-
agree with that.
no, and then what happened was I heard
then
rumors.
about Evolve.
I don't know. Then I heard about Twilight Princess HD. You know how they had those leaked rumors sort of
Mhm.
stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna pick this game up back anytime soon if they're gonna come out with an HD remake. So I mean remaster. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, nah. And so once I heard about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not gonna pick it up back again. So now it's almost like a new game because I haven't finished it. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm a
How
little.
far did you get? Did you get past being a wolf and you can transform?
Yeah.
You get to like the
Yeah, I got past
snow, the dungeon on the top of the snow mountain where you had to track the abominable snowman creature.
That was pretty cool.
No, I never got there.
Okay. Zora's Domain. Did you open up that area?
I don't even know. It was January 2015. I don't remember what
Oh
happened.
my
That wasn't that
god.
It was about a year ago. You can't expect to remember.
Well,
all
for
that
him,
stuff.
when you're that young, that was like
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Well, because I mean, I bought a lot of other games after that, so I don't remember.
A lot of other games that you didn't play either.
That's the problem.
Oh.
That's what I'm trying to steer him. I'm trying to be like a parent here and try
No,
to
but I bought.
remind him to
Unravel.
play X, because otherwise it's gonna happen. It's gonna.
Start collecting dust.
No,
Yeah.
I look in the past weeks. In the past weeks, I beat Uncharted 2. I played Unravel and I beat it. I'm almost beating Firewatch, so like I'm beating some games, but they're shorter. But you know what I mean.
Those are the games you have a current game.
Yeah,
Those are the
playing them
games you
old
buy
ass
3-4
games.
months down the road and then beat them after you finish. But anyway, that's just me being, the mature
Playing them 10-year-old
old
games.
guy. Yeah. But the one of the things I was gonna say, this isn't the thing I forgot. But a lot of people are still saying, and I hate to say a lot, I still see comments. I'll say it this way: I still see comments, people saying, "Well, I wish this game would have got the Wind Waker treatment." And this is, Francis kind of pointed this out. He thought the game had at least a year development cycle. That that Tantalus report, unless they didn't start working on it, they just knew they were going to. That was like a year and a half ago, where they said they had. They're working on a major game, biggest game, AAA publisher, top notch, non-rated M, non-mature title. That was like a year and a half ago. This game's, I think, this theory I have, I think they wanted it out in 2015 once they approved it. I think it was more work than they thought, and they just couldn't get it out. I truly believe it, unless they really wanted it for the 30th anniversary. I just think it took way longer.
Well, they haven't mentioned anything about 30th anniversary with this
No.
game, have they?
Yeah,
So I don't think
no.
that. I think you might be right. I think they wanted it in 2015 and just they had to push it
And
to finish it. So
I think almost every texture of the freaking game's new, like basically.
it looks like it.
And they did fix some geometry on some things. So overall, though, I'm very impressed with especially that newest video, really showcasing the 1080p native resolution and the high quality textures. I remember what I was gonna say. He was talking about the PC.
Oh, there it is.
And this might have been in Francis's standalone video. He was talking about the PC Dolphin emulator, where people are saying just get that version. Yeah, it was OJ. Sorry, it was his. Why it's worth every penny to him. Twilight Princess HD. why it's worth, the $50-$60 price tag. And people were like, "We'll just get the guy did that texture pack for the Dolphin emulator, and it's like 4K textures." And I checked it out, and it's like, yeah, it has really it looks like The Witcher 2 to me, like The Witcher 3 maybe. It doesn't look like Twilight Princess anymore.
It just completely looks like something else.
A completely different game, and that's the thing I wanted to say was they're doing all this extra texture work, but they're retaining the game's original artistic direction. They're not changing that. That had to have been I'm sure when they're reworking textures, they probably had all right, does this look like it belongs in Twilight Princess? It's not just putting super high 4K grass textures on the ground and adding this new light engine, and it doesn't look like Twilight Princess anymore. So I think that's the thing that they need to be given credit for with all that work, but still it looks like Twilight Princess. It looks like.
Oh, and there's a ridiculous amount of depth of field and weirdness going on in that texture pack, and it just was off-putting to me. It made me kind of sick looking at some of those vistas or whatnot.
Just everything about it didn't read Zelda.
Oh, and by the way, it doesn't improve the gameplay.
No, and it doesn't, and it's doesn't add the hero mode, which I'm mad that it's mirrored, because I want to play hero mode, but I don't want to play Link with a right-handed, and I'm torn. So I'm just gonna use my Ganondorf amiibo, and I'm gonna play regular with Ganondorf, scan him in every time I turn the game on and play it hero mode-esque.
No, but isn't it also
There
when
you
you
go.
die, you have to also put it back on?
If you die, I mean, I don't plan on doing that.
He's I'm not going to die. What are you trying to say, Robert?
Yeah, but if it's really hard, does it mean you gotta
I
keep
have no
putting it on?
shame. I'm gonna have the Link amiibo to refill my arrows. We don't know, like we talked. We don't know if that's gonna be once per game session, once per day.
Oh no. Ganondorf is on and off, whereas Zelda, Link, and them are once a day.
I think I thought it was once a day.
See, I didn't see that kind of
Part
information.
replenishing.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna use the Ganondorf amiibo. I don't want to play it mirrored. I want to play it the GameCube version for the first time, basically with Link with left hand, being left-handed. So yeah, I'm glad I remembered that part, because I think a lot of people are just still thinking that the Dolphin emulator version's better, and it's basically free if you have the disc, and just it doesn't look like Twilight Princess anymore. So
it's technically impressive, but it doesn't look like you were saying. It doesn't look like Twilight Princess now. It takes away from what the visual aesthetic of that game brought forth. So.
Oh wow! Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. This is a very Jesus.
You're looking at the PC high-res texture pack one?
Yeah, it says Twilight Princess Dolphin Emulator 4K GTA.
Yeah, does that look like Twilight Princess at all? Does it even look like a Zelda game to you?
It looks really off. It looks like it's still being worked on. The texture's fine, but we're still working on the character models.
But I mean, that's a lot of work, and I got to give the person who's working on that credit.
Technically impressive.
I want to play the game the way it was intended from a visual standpoint, and I do like all the improvements. And of course, I posted on Twitter, and some guy was Joe something was "What are these improvements?" And I'm like, watch the video. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you them. The video just was 5 minutes long, and they didn't even cover the quicker speed, the quicker load times, the wolf transformation. It didn't even cover a lot of them. So hopefully the opening sequence is streamlined too. There's less of those. What are the light things you have to
Tears
get?
of light.
Tears of light.
I don't think it is, because I think I know a few people already have the game, and they're playing through the beginning of it, and it looks from what I've seen in the comments, it looks exactly like it was in the GameCube version.
One thing though, that girl that gets abducted, her face don't look right in HD. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Yeah.
She looks like a damn alien.
Her head to eye ratio is a little off.
That's
That's why I was saying the Dolphin emulator looks even creepier, because
Probably.
Yeah.
That was the design choice. I saw the concept art, because they released a website had the new concept art for the HD version. It was amazing, but that's how they wanted her to look. So
Yeah.
So next, let's get to the, and I want to try to handle this in the most, open-minded nature. But let's talk about the Street Fighter V releasing tomorrow or to midnight tonight, missing content or modes that were prevalent in the last couple Street Fighter games for sure. They were there at launch. I see both sides. There's people saying, well, it was okay for Splatoon, so it should be okay for Street Fighter, and then people that are mad about it for Splatoon are mad about it for Street Fighter. There's all kinds of different things. So what I want to do first is just let's try to come to a conclusion if one is worse than the other, or if they're the same, or if they're equal, and kind of rank them, because we have obviously two similar things where they're holding content and they say it's coming later, but one was a brand new IP, one's a established franchise. So I want to kind of weigh in on all those factors and see what we can come up with as far as first deciding if it's worse, if it's not as bad as Splatoon, and that. So Terrell, you brought it up off air, and you had all the details. So if you want to start, basically just say what's apparently or what's officially missing, and when's it coming to the people that get the game today. When's the rest of the game coming? And,
okay. As far as when the stuff's coming, the problem is that some of that stuff it's coming in different months. Like okay, all right. Well, let's start with the stuff that's missing. Challenges are missing. The trials are missing. CPU matches, period, are missing. So either it's CPU versus CPU, that's not there, and one player versus CPU, that's not there. 8-player online lobbies, or just 8-player lobbies. Cinematic story mode. That's not to say there isn't a story mode in the game. It's just a bare bones story mode. Individual character stories themselves. So I guess that explains it. An in-game shop, which is where you're supposed to be able to buy the characters that they already said were coming later. Like I think the first one is Alex, and he's coming in March. So currently we don't have the shop to buy him in. But alternate costumes, spectator mode, stage transitions, targets, which I guess is just another variation in training, extra battles, arcade, and no gallery mode. As far as
those are all things.
A lot of stuff.
As far as the CPU battles, the challenge mode, the alternate colors, and the online lobbies, that's coming in March. So I would say of the stuff I just listed, probably about half of it should be coming next month, maybe a little bit more than half, and the rest of it I think is coming in June. As far as whether I view it worse or better, it's worse than Splatoon to me because, do you want me to go into the reason or just say it's worse?
Well, just now that we know all the details, yeah, you can go ahead and give your thoughts on it. I'll have you start.
I think it's worse purely because Splatoon, people got to remember that the issue, the thing that was missing in Splatoon, quote unquote, was just ranked modes and maps. And granted, people weren't complaining about the gear at all. That was just something they threw in. The only thing people were complaining about was voice chat, maps, and the rank modes. I think those were the only three things they were really complaining about. The level cap increasing, the extra weapons, all that shit. No one was complaining about. Oh, there's not enough weapons. I didn't hear anyone complain about.
No,
the weapons.
yeah, there was definitely enough.
Yeah.
So like we got exactly what we wanted except for the voice chat and more in terms of other stuff. Street Fighter is missing like basic single player features versus Splatoon that had a 101 Battle Dojo mode and had a single player that was fully done and fleshed out. It's not like we got the single player mode and then we got like these pictures for the cutscenes and then we had to wait another 2 months to get the actual the CGI cinematics. Like we got all the single player content. The only thing we were waiting for was the multiplayer. So I think it's worse purely just because of the amount of stuff being taken out.
And that stuff being taken out is from.
Well, I wouldn't even say.
Judging it from Street Fighter 4, probably the last version that came out, I would think.
Well, which version of Street Fighter?
Yeah, one of them. So I don't. It's not like they just said these features are missing. Was that a list compiled by somebody who was comparing the last Street Fighter 4 game?
Yeah, that's what they were doing.
So,
And then just talking to people who already got the game.
and it's definitely Splatoon didn't have a previous game to go by. I think Street Fighter 5 almost sounds like it should be closer to the Forza 5 launch, but that was a launch title, so I think that got a lot of passes from gamers because that was missing a ton of cars and tracks from Forza 4. But I guess for me, we didn't get the team squads, and it was like 3 months after Splatoon launched. So
Yeah,
just under 3 months.
it came out in August, so
And
yeah.
that was like one of my favorite things to do. The ranked, what was it? The friends squad lobbies and all that.
Yeah, the squad and private battle.
But we didn't really like if they did that again for Splatoon 2, then it would be completely unacceptable. I think that's something to distinguish. Like if Splatoon 2 launches and you have to wait 3 months for team, so with your squad battles with your friends, then I would be, I'd probably wouldn't buy the game at launch. So that's where it's really different for me, is that this established franchise and the previous game, which the last iteration wasn't even that long ago, had all these things. But if you just took them and took out that fact, I would say that Street Fighter is just a little bit worse, but they would be a lot closer than the fact that it was the first time Splatoon came out, or the first, in the series. I don't feel that Splatoon is nearly as bad as the Street Fighter V situation. At least they've announced it, that you're getting the stuff and it's coming for free. As long as it hits the date of March, a lot of that stuff, that's going to be a pretty big chunk. But it just feels like they wanted to, like I think you said, or somebody said this,
Yeah.
They wanted to get the game to Evo.
Yeah, because that's like the biggest fighting game, I guess, tournament for like all fighting games. And I feel like that's the reason I think it is, because I don't feel like they didn't mean to put the shit in. I think it was just that it would take them to, like, the game would have ended up being delayed until like June or July, and they were like, we don't want to miss Evo. We don't want to wait until
priorities, man, priorities.
Well, I said that about Splatoon when I think they realized they needed the friend squad mode too late, and they said, well, we can either release it in May, 80% complete, or we can delay it till August. And I think that's why a lot of the content rollout happened, just to kind of fill in that gap. So I did give Splatoon a pass because I said I'd rather have the game they released in May than had nothing and waited till August. But like I said, Street Fighter is a franchise that everybody has expectations for what should be there, and it's a little less acceptable, I think, especially just for Evo's sake, if that's the reason.
You're being nice.
Well,
But why not just delay it till March and get the majority of it? I don't know.
To me, I think it's because I've seen this in a few of the reviews. It feels like the game was released for the competitive scene and no one else. Like all the stuff the competitive players for the most part would need is there, except for maybe the CPU stuff. But like none of the casual stuff is there.
Let's get Robert and T's take, because Robert was going to buy the game and you just found out about this stuff like right before the podcast.
Yeah, I just found out about that now because I haven't even heard about it. Like, I've been on social media, but I didn't hear anyone speak about it.
I didn't know about it either. It was news to me, so hopefully this is accurate and Terrell's not.
No, yeah, I looked it up before, and it is pretty accurate.
It's just like Splatoon.
Are you questioning my validity sources?
Yeah, I don't.
You didn't hear about this stuff before Splatoon came out either. It's just like Splatoon, right?
Well, they did the Splatoon Direct.
Right.
No, that was the only time we heard about it.
I'm trying to be funny.
Yeah, because I was going to buy it tomorrow. I had it counting down on my phone and stuff. And
this guy.
Did you play Street Fighter 4?
yeah, on the 3DS.
Okay.
Also,
And
the worst version of the game.
damn, look, it's fun. It's fun of the 3DS.
It's
but,
pretty damn good though. It's a pretty good port.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm joking.
Yeah, no.
So
But,
has this changed your mind? How do you feel about
yeah,
it?
it just now I'm gonna buy it probably June. You know, because I want to have the full thing.
Hypocrite.
No. The whole thing is.
It's like T's fucking with you. Like, wait a minute.
He's getting into explanation.
The whole
mode.
thing is that Splatoon last year had already a full game technically. You know, it had the single player, the multiplayer, and the local multiplayer, and you still have the unlockables that you could get through the your gear. Now, if Street Fighter V only has like one mode, it's turning into Evolve, and I kind of don't like Evolve.
Whoa. Robert said he didn't like a game. What is this?
Well, the whole thing is, but the thing is that at least they're not making you be like, okay, here's $60, and then you have to pay for the story and the local and this and that. At least they're giving you out for free. That's fine. If you buy it tomorrow, I have no problem with that, you know. But I would rather myself, so I could fully experience the whole game, buy it in June. That's just me. Because if it's only online battle, I usually play with the computers a lot just because I get my ass kicked online. So so I'd rather play like that.
Well, not tomorrow. You won't.
And it's
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I'm not picking it up tomorrow. So
3-4
Go
months from
straight
now.
out there.
Are you gonna wanna like play these if they add that story mode with cutscenes
Yeah.
and these
Yeah,
characters?
I'll play
You're
it.
gonna be bored. You're probably gonna be less than like you're not gonna be bored with the game, but you're gonna have played it online and stuff a lot to the point where it's gonna be kind of irrelevant at that point.
maybe.
Whereas some new maps coming to Splatoon and
Well, yeah, because the
every
whole thing is
week
that.
didn't really say, well, I wish I would have just waited to buy the game because you still had all but you still had the other maps to learn and you still were learning the game, and by the time the squad team, with friends and the private lobbies hit, it wasn't like, oh my god, it's too late. This stuff would have, it added to the game. I think with especially the main story mode of Street Fighter, after that long of playing the game, it just doesn't seem like it would have much impact. That's something I'd play right away, like learning the characters, learning the moves while I played through the story of a fighter. I don't know.
Man, y'all, look, I understand. Y'all being real nice. You know,
There we go.
you wanna keep your credibility intact.
I don't want to be an Nintendo fag.
You don't want to be labeled as hypocrites, which is gonna happen anyway. I don't know why you ain't trying to be trying to walk all soft.
I'm gonna get it in June.
No, wait. No, don't ruin it.
Let me finish. This for me went from a little bit worse than Platoon to after he read off all the details of the trailer to completely horribly worse than Splatoon.
Well, it is.
Let me break it down. May I break it down?
Break it down.
All right.
Praise.
Step one. All right. Splatoon is like has been said already, is a completely new IP. There were no expectations as far as what types of modes and whatnot. Now we know that Splatoon is a quote unquote shooter, and lightly, you can compare it to other shooters by saying it should have this, it should have that, and rightfully so, it was compared to other shooters. But at the end of the day, it had at least one mode and what we were looking for. The only thing it didn't have was the voice chat, right? That was the only thing that it really didn't have. It just lacked variety in certain modes. Am I right? Am I right about that?
Yeah.
For the most part, I'm right about that. Okay, and I think the biggest thing of all is, obviously Street Fighter is 25 plus years old. Like, we know what we should be getting from Street Fighter at this point, right? And for the most part, this Street Fighter V isn't that huge of a leap over 4, right? Am I wrong about that? It's not like, oh my God, it's so much different. So they have the mechanics of fighting locked down, right? This is a fighting game. This is a one-on-one fighting game. Why is it taking all this time? Like, how long have we known about Street Fighter V?
It's been at least over a year.
Couple years.
Yeah, before
Couple years, right?
Sony funded it, wasn't even going to be out for another 2 years or something.
Right. So all the mechanics and all that stuff is pretty much locked. Like as far as what the punch feels like, what the kicks feel like the combos, all that stuff is locked. This is a one-on-one fighting game where Splatoon is a 3D run around a huge map and turn into a squid to a kid, like all this extra stuff. So why is it? I mean, it's lacking almost everything. You get what, an online mode?
Yeah,
You play other people online.
But you can't watch. You can't spectate, man.
You can't spectate. Like, I mean, this is way worse. And I wanted to say, oh, this is just slightly worse than Spoon. But when the details, the devil's in the details. When the details come out, this is way worse. Because, like I said, this is a one-on-one fighting game. We're not dealing with, 8-on-8 players running around large maps. We're not dealing with any of that stuff. We know what Street Fighter is about. This makes no sense for it to be to be this unfinished at this point. It just it makes no sense to me.
That's a good point. The fact that it is just a fighter, and they've been doing them for so long.
Right. We have 25 years of Street Fighters. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think you just hit it right on the head. That is the big difference there. I mean, a 4-on-4 online map with all the stuff could happen.
Right.
Versus
you're
a
dealing with bugs.
Fighter.
You're dealing with bugs you're not used to, especially if you're Nintendo, because for one, there's this squid mechanic. This changes what shooters are. It's not just a straight up. This is not a military shooter where you run around and shoot people in the head and all that stuff. This is a different type of shooter. Splatoon is. So there's all kinds of stuff that warrants why it wasn't finished. Based on its development cycle. It makes no sense for Street Fighter to not have. You can't go against the computer. Like, that is the juice. That is the bread and butter of this game. Like, that's where you learn how to play other characters, to play all the different characters and play against other characters, and then you jump online when you learned a little something. You don't go out there like not having practiced against the computer on hard or whatever you got to do. Like, that's crazy to me.
It is almost unfathomable, like that happened, and the fact that I just heard about it. I don't follow Sony fans. The only one I do is Zobi70, and he's more of an old school PlayStation fan. So I don't know what the Sony fans are saying. Everyone I've seen,
I do. They're not saying anything.
Yeah.
and again, when people had a scalpel out for Splatoon, like when stuff was man, I don't think there's gonna be any voice chat. They were talking about that before it was confirmed. Like, is it only peer to peer, or is it only your friends you can voice chat? People were talking about that way before we knew what happened. And when people would get ready with the pitchforks, ready to rile up, like, I don't hear any of that. It's crickets.
Well, you know what it is?
Crickets.
In my opinion, the high percentage of the PlayStation 4 owners are filthy casuals. I think.
Well, that has something to do with it.
I know that I said that jokingly, the filthy part, but no, I honestly believe
I know.
The Call of Duty, the 10 million Black Ops 3 sold, the people that got into Call of Duty last generation on the 360, they didn't read news. They didn't go to game websites. They just saw Call of Duty commercials on TV and bought the game. So I think a lot of the PlayStation 4 owners are just.
Well, that's fine, but the problem is a lot of people crying about Splatoon was never going to buy it in the first place. And you heard those guys. That's what I'm talking about. You heard those guys chirping, "Oh my God!" and those voice chatting, what kind of mode, and Moses, and all this stuff. You heard that stuff from the guys who were never going to buy Splatoon anyway.
And they're the ones.
Those guys.
They're the ones going to be calling us hypocrites for not being.
Right.
For saying
they'll jump in for that part of it, but they won't jump in for the part of this game is whoa. And where is where are the scalpels for this? Like,
and I do want to just point out, I don't like, in either situation, I don't like the idea of putting out the game and then bringing the rest of it later. Nintendo kind of, I don't know if they started it, but with Smash, which the things they added were to me were nothing. Like the things they added for Smash, the tournaments were nothing. It didn't even register with me. But Splatoon, I don't want this to become the trend for every game. So like I said, Splatoon 2.
I think a lot of us accepted it on Splatoon. A lot of Nintendo fans accepted because there were no games. Like we were like, all right, this ain't it ain't got everything it needs, but I need a game. So,
and it was, I mean, I felt like it could have, all it needed was the maps they promised, and I still would have been happy with the purchase. But I just wanted to point out that I don't like the idea either way, but I do think the fact that Street Fighter is a fighting game. But I did, I mentioned while you were talking, which kind of I forgot about, this game was like a 2017, 2018 title, and then Sony gets exclusive console rights to it, and all of a sudden it's a 2016 game.
That's another thing. Like, it's got the backing of Sony, and this is what you're putting out? Like, it would have made more sense if he was just, Capcom, this is all we can do. But now that you got Sony behind you, like, why?
I think that Sony's the reason it's coming out soon and that it's coming out unfinished. I think they're pushing for it. Because, I mean, like Capcom said, they said 2017, 2018 or whatever. I think it was 2018.
Yeah, I had forgotten all about that. That is true.
And all of a sudden, Sony is involved. So they might have put some money behind it, but it feels like they're rushing it out. Because really, they don't have any exclusive. And it's coming to PC, and you can cross-play. You can play PC against PS4 players. So that's a cool thing. But
and I don't feel like I'm a hypocrite because one, Killer Instinct did something similar. And I'm a Killer Instinct fan. I'm a Street Fighter fan too. I'm just not. I'm not as hardcore as I used to be in fighting games. Period. So neither one of them bothered me that much. But like I looked at that and I was like, I'm not buying that. I don't like what they're doing. Like, why do they have to do a fighting game like that? I can see, a big open world game or a big massive shooter game, something like that. But like a fighting game where it's in 3D, but it's a 2D fighting game. Like so it's like, why do those games need that kind of rollout? Like I don't get that.
Battlefront received some shit for doing something similar because on top of that, I said Battlefront, right? Not Battlefield, even though they're basically the same.
You said Battlefront.
They had the season pass right there at the beginning, and I think that amplified that. But that game still sold like 6-7 million on PS4.
Right, didn't matter.
But I think that was just as bad because of that was made worse by the season pass, and so it's like I can see what the hippers. I know what they're gonna say because they're gonna say, well, you guys kept harping, it's free, so I don't care, it's free, it doesn't affect me. It's free, and this stuff's free too. But like we said, when your previous games had all these features, that's why I felt like I was the only one talking about Forza 5. How much BS that was.
Oh, you probably.
I didn't. Yeah, I bought Forza 5, but I got it way later.
Yeah.
I got it way after all that stuff came.
And I don't even think a lot of that came.
And I didn't
extra.
complain about
it. You had to buy car packs on Forza 5.
Well, let me say this: as far as Street Fighter 5 is concerned, because I knew when I got a PS4, I've been kind of casually interested in this game because Street Fighter 4 didn't really catch me, but Street Fighter 5 has. There's also partially because some of my favorite characters in Street Fighter are actually in this game. But I'm not saying like people were with Splatoon, where it's like I'm gonna boycott Splatoon.
Yeah, I'm not saying boycott or any of that stuff.
I'm not gonna I'm talking about like I'll get the game later in like June and shit, when either I don't have anything to play or I get my PlayStation 4, whenever the hell that is. Like I'm not so petty where it's like, hey, look, the content's still free regardless. Like if I had nothing else to do on my PlayStation, I'll put it this way: if I had nothing else to play on my PlayStation 4 right now, and I wasn't playing anything else, I probably would still get the game at least within the month or so. But like,
because you know eventually you're gonna get a full game at some point.
Yeah,
you know? And you're not gonna
like
pay for it.
it's not like it's up in the air and I'm sitting there going, I hope we get some new content, guys. Like, I know this shit's coming.
It's not Mario Tennis or anything, you know.
Oh yeah, what the hell is that?
Oh.
G? I don't even know what game that is, man.
Can you trust Capcom to deliver in June the rest of the game? I mean,
Yeah,
that's another
right.
thing. That's a whole other thing,
see,
right?
that's the other problem. Nintendo has brand loyalty, and Nintendo hasn't really done anything inherently dickish. Capcom, considering the last game in this series has like what 4 versions of it that came out within like a year of each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's that paranoia level is like up there in the top, son. It's like I don't know.
I don't know. That's the thing, right?
Capcom might be fucking around.
Right. And never once did I say boycott. Don't buy it. I was just pointing out what I thought some were egregious things that were happening with this game. But like Terrell said, like you're gonna eventually get a full game, and if you really like Street Fighter like that, hey, get it. But to me, these are bigger things within the game that are not there compared to a Splatoon or even Battlefront. Like,
well, yeah,
you got all the modes, you just didn't get enough of them.
Well, I mean, think about it. Splatoon had a feature that you could test the weapon before you bought it. You can't even do practice shit with like Ryu and Ken. That's insane.
Right.
All right, so we're talking about a PS4 console exclusive that's also on PC. Let's talk about another game that was, in some people's mind, was only a console game, recently announced to be also a PC game, even though for some reason my memory told me at E3 I thought they showed that in their Windows 10 lineup. But let's talk about Quantum Break, and I don't want to talk about...
It's a game that broke the community.
Yeah. So the sadness was so real.
I literally follow 0 Xbox YouTubers. Like, I just don't care about... It's just... Why would I want to watch videos or people talking about something I'm not that interested in? So I didn't know anything about this until... I saw someone use that phrase, like quantum broke the community or something. And so I watched the trailer, whatever, TV spot, whatever it is, and it's all live action with Sean Ashmore. And I saw the Windows 10, so I read a couple more comments, and I put 2 and 2 together. People are mad that it's coming to PC. Xbox One owners seem to be mad, and some of the more diehard guys are making excuses. It just seemed like that's where this was going. I don't really want to talk about that, but here's what I wanted to point out first. First of all, one less reason to buy Xbox One.
Too late for me.
This is so I just want to say this real quick. Sonic Lost World's hitting PC. Well, what was that, like 6 months ago or last summer?
Yeah. Yeah,
somebody was dumb enough to say that about Sonic Lost World. One less reason to buy a Wii U. This is a legitimate one less reason to buy an Xbox One. Like, this game isn't out yet. It was a big title they've been hyping up. This is generally one less reason to buy one.
If you find a Wii U for Sonic Lost Worlds, then
we
need to talk.
200,000. 3 years later, hits PC. Doesn't even make a ripple in the water on PC. And that was this is
good thing
for anyone that
Wii U.
said that. Yeah, if that idiot that said that, and he knows who he is on Google, if he's watching this, really, and he's an Xbox fanboy, Wii U owner, so this legitimately could be used as one less reason to buy Xbox One. But I want to point out a couple things. First of all, E3 2015. A lot of Nintendo fans were upset because basically Nintendo, with what they showed and didn't show, were basically saying the Wii U's on its last legs. That was pretty much a consensus. Mm-hmm. With Xbox, my takeaway was, which a lot of people just completely ignored, was that they're pushing for Windows 10. Like, that's the future of Xbox is Windows 10. Mm-hmm. Almost every game that they showcased, minus a few like Halo 5 and Forza Horizon, whatever one came out.
Eventually will be on Windows 10 eventually.
And it's like they push Windows 10. It's like I feel like the people that were top rating E3s, like they didn't even catch that. That was the thing that stood out.
Well,
And I thought Quantum Break was in that list with it was Killer Instinct and a bunch of
I don't
indie
think it
games.
was.
In my mind, it was like I thought it was already coming to Windows 10.
Well, you were right.
So, but the fact that 8 months ago, their E3 was basically setting up Xbox and Windows 10 are joining. Like they spent a majority of their E3 pushing that. Smart device tablets. Their Surface has Windows 10, all the free upgrade. They just were pushing Windows 10. And a lot of indie games. Some were Windows 10 exclusive, and they looked really cool. And the other point is that people don't realize that this isn't Quantum Break on PC. This isn't Quantum Break on Steam. This is Windows 10, which works through your Xbox Live profile. So my Terminator Juice count for my 360 is what I would have to use if I want to play Quantum Break. I'm not sure if there's any online or whatever, but if I get it on Windows 10 on my PC, it's tied to my Xbox Live account, which is a silver account. I don't have gold. So it's not like this is on Steam and everybody's going to have it. This is Windows 10. This is the first big game hitting Windows 10, which will be interesting because if you look at the Windows 10 game store, the Xbox or whatever store they're calling it, it's like the social rejects of mobile games. It's like it is pathetic. It's so sad. But anyway, I just want to point that out. I felt like Microsoft was telling us 8 months ago, and the fact that it's Windows 10 and it's still Microsoft, it's still Xbox, and the fact that they're joining those two together, it seems like to me the writing was on the wall. But also, I do see that it is one less reason to buy an Xbox now that I can get it on my PC if I was so inclined. But I want to ask the two Xbox One owners here: does this bother you? Does this make you feel like maybe you shouldn't have bought the Xbox One? I mean, I'm trying to look at it from both sides, so we'll start there. Robert, what do you think?
So obviously, I was like, damn, that's one less exclusive. Now, I mean, yeah, what's the real reason to buy an Xbox One for? Halo 5, okay, that's one, and Sunset Overdrive, that's two, right? So now, for me personally, I don't have a PC, so it's better that I could still play it at least. It doesn't bother me that if it's not exclusive, it doesn't bother me. Like, no, I'm not gonna get sleep off of it, but like, I'm perfectly fine with it being on a PC. It's just, what's the point of an Xbox then? I don't really understand. I feel like one day I should just get a PC and then I'll be able to play those two. It's like, I don't know, maybe next generation I don't have to get an Xbox and I can just get a PC and I'll be able to play Halo still, I don't know.
Right.
That's the way I see it.
I think I have
that
to
was
go back.
that was it exactly for me. I think what Robert is alluding to is what I was thinking is that short term I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I think long term, I think that's why a lot of Xbox fans are upset because they're thinking long term. They're worried about is there going to be an Xbox 2 or whatever?
There's not going to be a box.
720,
yeah.
Right? Is it just going to be a software setup? Windows 10, Xbox through Windows 10. I think that's where it's headed. But I do want to touch on the fact that because some people completely dismiss people being upset about this. I'm not upset about it. I'm a Nintendo fan. I just happen to have an Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
So and there's some games on Xbox that I like, but there is there's a couple of reasons to be upset. One, why tell people now? Like, to me, that's shady. Like, you had plenty of time to let people know this game is coming to Windows 10. I don't know, let's say E3, when they were telling about all the other stuff that was coming to Windows 10. Like, why not say that about this game? You obviously knew then that this was coming to Windows 10. Why not put that out there? So there is a reason to be upset about that. Like, and you were talking about like how this is not a Steam thing. This is Windows 10. You have to have that, and you have to have your Xbox account and all that stuff. And I don't know what the online features are, if there are any, for this game. But again, speaking short term, not that big of a deal. Long term, like, why am I paying for Xbox Live when I can play on my PC
that's the thing. You might have to, because, like I said, it works through. I don't know if you have a Windows 10, but I go to my start menu or whatever, and I go to the Xbox icon, and it brings me to basically not quite Miiverse, but it's like the Xbox portal. I can see my friends. I can see Mezati, got an achievement in Rise of the Tomb Raider, and another friend of mine got a clip from Black Ops 3. It works basically like the Xbox dashboard. So if you posted a clip using the Xbox One's in-game, OS level, whatever, to share clips, I could watch those. So they've already kind of integrated the Xbox Live,
which is suicide to me, because you're not going to get PC guys to pay.
Yeah, I don't know that, like, if they do Halo or something, I don't know that the online, that you're not going to have a gold membership to take advantage. So
they did that. They shooting themselves in the foot. I would think. But obviously there are extremes. A lot of the extremes have to do with the fact that this is one less bullet for their console war. To say this is our exclusive. And it's funny to me to see like Sony fanboys like go out and say, "Well, I could just get it on my PC." Like, if you didn't care about the game before it was coming out, when it was coming on Xbox One only, or when you thought it was on Xbox, why do you care about it now? Like, come on, that's a joke. Like, if the game didn't interest you before, it shouldn't interest you now just because you can get it on your imaginary PC, which you probably don't have. A lot of guys are just
well,
that
Neverland PC.
That Neverland PC. Right?
But it's also, let's say someone just knew that they weren't going to get an Xbox One anytime soon, but let's say they have a gaming PC, and I feel, I've been saying this for a long time, having a gaming PC, a Windows PC, and buying an Xbox One, to me, is the definition of redundant.
It's redundant.
Exactly.
Most people want to play.
Halo. Going forward, that's what I was gonna say. Going forward, again, I was talking short term. Long term, like, if you were a guy that was sitting around thinking, "Oh, I like that Quantum Break game. It looks pretty cool. I might have to get me an Xbox." No, you don't. You don't have to do that now. So you're hurting yourself as far as hardware sales.
Like someone said, it's still Microsoft. They're still getting the money.
It's still. I'm just saying, as far as them selling hardware, this to me is like, if you got an Xbox One, cool. If you don't, just get it over here. We don't really care if that Xbox One sells that much more. We're fine where it is. This is not our future. It almost feels like Saturn. It feels like Sega saying the Saturn is not our future. Without saying,
I felt like that at E3. I don't know. A lot of people.
Yeah, I guess I just missed that. I didn't really pay that much attention to Xbox stuff. So
I was gonna say, because I ended up making a video on this. I think the day I found out, which I think was like late last week. Here's something that I feel like a lot of Xbox fans do not recognize. This has been a problem with almost the entirety of Xbox One's generation. Specifically, hell, it was a problem near the end of the 360. If anyone remembers, when they started losing all those third-party exclusives to Sony and the PS3, and then ever since the beginning of the Xbox One generation, they lost Titanfall,
Dead Rising,
Rise. Yep. Like, they kept losing all their fucking third-party exclusives, and I'm sitting there like, and Xbox fans are like, See, this is what it means. I'm like, guys, you've had this problem since you got the console. Like, why is this the thing that shocked you? It's like, it's been a problem since the console. Hell, it was a problem since the 360, to be honest. I'm be perfectly honest, it's been a problem since the 360. It's the reason why I have no interest in buying an Xbox One console. Because to me, why would I get the inferior version of a game when I can literally put the same game on my PC and get the best version of it? Like, because for someone like me who's never been invested in the Xbox brand at all, and throughout the years they've just shown that they have no interest in gaining new customers who know any better. It's like, you already got to be a to me, the only reason why you own an Xbox One right now, in terms, if you're someone who cares about exclusives, is what Sunset Overdrive, Halo,
And Halo.
Forza 6. What one came out this?
Well, there's like 3
Maybe
Forzas.
Yeah,
Gears.
it's like
We'll just say Forza in general, right?
Which again, if you wait a couple years, that might change.
Yeah, like at this point, and then there was already those rumors about Gears coming to PC. So it's like, to me, it was like, it's like I understand why you're mad, but I feel like you should have seen this coming because there's nothing, everything within like the last 2 years is just shown that they're not worrying about like console gaming as much anymore. It's like they're slowly but surely making that transition to PC. It's like, we don't want you to game on the Xbox brand will still be there in name, but as a box, no, we're not worrying about that. And then the people who are like mocking them for it, these are the same people who were sitting there going, oh, we want 3 companies around because we don't want it to turn into a monopoly. But then you laugh when the console loses an exclusive. Like,
That's lip service, man. They just say that to make it seem like they want to see the other company die.
Mhm.
Like that's how they.
And
really
I don't
feel.
care about the console war side of this. But I buy a console for exclusive. I've been saying it.
Exactly.
As long as I've been on YouTube, it hasn't changed. I just messaged OJ on his gameplay of Gravity Rush remastered on the PS4. That was legit, like 100% the first exclusive, the first game that said, maybe I do have to get a PS4. Like, and it's not like I was going to for that game because he said, it's an average game, it's a good, decent game. But that was the first game for the PS4 that made me say, I think I might have to get one like that. And we're 2 years and a couple months in.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
End of year 3, and it's a game like that would get me to buy it because I can't get that anywhere else. Quantum Break was not that game. I'm skeptical as hell. I think this game's gonna be not quite the Order 1886, but I don't think it's gonna be much different. I think it's gonna be short, and I could be wrong. I'm just a feeling.
And what's special about Quantum Break? Like, why is that one of the games where some other games aren't being chosen for Windows 10?
I think it's because they're trying to recoup. I think they knew Halo 5 was going to sell. It would sell really well if it had, PCs.
It sold
version,
okay.
It sold decently. Rise of the Tomb Raider was supposed to come out in June on PC, and that comes out in January. I just think they're seeing that the software sales aren't what they wanted. The system's at 20 million sold, the Xbox One. It is strange.
It's strange.
So to flip this to us Nintendo fans, what would you say if Nintendo was like, all right, we got a new F-Zero coming out. It's going to be NX, budget title, and also on PC. Like, how would you guys honestly feel about that?
That'd be kind of weird.
I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like it. That's what I was saying. I understand. I wanted to say more about the Xbox. I understand, like an Xbox fan, there's an Xbox feel, just like there's a Nintendo feel and there's a Sony feel. And sometimes you buy the console for that as well. Like, so if you're taking that feel away, like if I'm losing that experience, that would get me upset. And like moving the game like that to a different platform takes a little bit away from the feel to me. Like if I'm turning on a different type of box to play a game that I would usually play on my Nintendo box, and there's a different feel to that, I think that's what a lot of people were worried about on Nintendo making mobile games. It's like, oh no, there goes that Nintendo feel again, like, because mobile games crap for most people. Like, I don't want Nintendo to make those games because it takes away from that feel. So I think that's why a lot of fans, Xbox fans, a lot of people just want to dismiss all the anger. I don't want to do that. I try to give it the benefit of the doubt because I know a lot of people just love their Xbox. Like Xbox Live, that's an experience that they remember from their original Xbox, their OG, VCR box, and from back in the day, and they want to continue getting that feel out of a box, and they feel like this is a step in the direction of them losing their box, and that's what I would feel about Nintendo doing this. Like, well, hardware making hardware is expensive. It's an expensive thing to do. We've already seen Sega bow out. It looks like Microsoft is like, we're kind of done with this. We never made any money on hardware, and that would scare me about Nintendo. Now, Nintendo has said they're invested in hardware. They will continue making hardware, but that would make me a little worried when they say, "Oh, we're putting this over here too." So I understand people being upset about that from that perspective, not the console war perspective, but worried about losing that feel, man.
I'm with you there because now I've chose F-Zero because it's a title that doesn't sell great, and I think I wouldn't ever suggest like a Mario or Zelda come to PC. But what if they said, the only way we're gonna put out F-Zero or Wave Race, let's say they would have done it with the Wii U and said, we're gonna put a PC version. They're gonna have you'll be able to play each other, online and stuff. But that's the only way the game's gonna come out. Like otherwise, we feel we're not gonna recoup our money. Then it's like, would you rather not have it, or would you rather have it? And then it's also,
I don't believe it because the PC market, like, I don't know how they figure out the numbers, but I don't see these great sales on PC.
That's true. They wait till they get really cheap.
Right. I just don't see the PC version sold 10 million copies. I never see that. I see 100,000, 500,000, 900,000, maybe a million on certain games, but I never see this, this extraordinary amount where, this would definitely help us out if we made a PC version. Mobile, you might have an argument there if you made a mobile version because people will download anything on their phone. So, or on their tablet. So I can see that, but we're gonna go PC because it's gonna help us sales wise. I don't see it from the numbers I look at as far as PC sales go.
That's true. And I just also wanted to say it's not for the console war bragging stuff, but like I said, I buy a console for exclusives, and if I know, the fact that Bayonetta 2 is only available on the Wii U, and it's just an amazing game that I love. It does feel good that game is only available on.
That adds value to the box you bought.
Yeah, it makes me feel, like I said, the Wii U is my favorite console of all time. After 3.5, barely, not even 3.5 years, because of all these great games. Now, if all these great games started going to other things, then definitely that would diminish my feelings on the system. So I can see, I agree with you. I'm not saying people shouldn't be mad about it, even though I did point out that
I'm just a nuance. Nuanced.
I thought the writing was on the wall, and I don't think this game is a game to get that upset about. Because I don't think it was going to be. I don't think it's going to be that special. I think it's just going to be average, I don't
think it's going to be that big of a game either. So
I don't know. It's just one of those things.
I think it was more the principle of it all.
Yeah, it's a principle thing.
I did.
I think most of the fervor is coming from the console wars, but there is some people do, to me, have a legitimate. That was it. It was the adding value to a box that you spent $500. Some people spent $500 on that thing.
I was gonna kind of compare it to, let's say someone go to the Best Buy. They got 4K TVs everywhere. They got curved. They got OLED TVs. If you went and bought a 1080p TV, and then a year from now we're like, what? There's 4K? I'm just wasting my money. I don't think this is quite that bad, but it's Microsoft. A lot of their games go to PC. The Xbox One has already had a handful.
Yeah, this isn't anything new. This is something they've been doing from the beginning. So
I don't think it's so out of the left field to get that mad about it. Could be like, oh man, that sucks. Especially if you have a gaming PC, you probably already feel kind of regretful having the Xbox One. I would think.
I don't even know why you would have made that decision.
To some extent, if you had a gaming PC and then you bought an Xbox One, why?
I would have been like, how dare you, sir? Waste your money
as much as the PS4 exclusive have been underwhelming, they're not hitting PC right away. So I can see both sides. But this we gotta get to some questions and comments here and wrap this up. The entitled part, I did say we were gonna kind of talk about that. I don't think we have time. I was just we were talking about Fire Emblem, how the people are like, well, I don't like the new fans. You know, that goes into entitlement. The original Bayonetta fans being mad at the Bayonetta 2 fans because they didn't play the first one, or they're only excited because it's on Wii U. Like, that kind of entitlement I really wanted to address, but I think I'm going to save it.
That's a whole podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to save it for... So my title's basically clickbait. We didn't really talk about the entitlement part, but
kinda with the Xbox stuff, kinda.
We talked about the Quantum broken, but because I just stole that from somebody, said broken community, but
well, I did break the Xbox community. I love the dirtiest quote I ever saw was the crap gamer tweeted Phil Spencer going, I canceled my pre-order.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he's like, and his response is like, you canceled your pre-order because more people get to play the same game as you.
Yeah, that's
yeah, like
bad.
that's kind of what I was talking about. To me, like, he didn't really answer Crap Gamer's complaint there. Like, Crap Gamer does have a bit of an argument to make there.
Yeah.
And Phil Spencer kind of went around it just to kind of throw him a sideways shot, but. I think what he was saying was that, you didn't tell us that this game was coming to PC. That's kind of shady. Why not? That pissed me off, so I'm canceling my pre-order.
Yeah, that's a principle to stand on.
Yeah, it's a principle stance, I think. But a lot of people don't like the guy. I get that, so a lot of people jumped on him. But I think he has a nuanced
point,
argument.
But that was funny as hell.
Right, it was funny. I was laughing my ass off, but. He did have a point in doing that. Like, he did have a point because he's a guy who's active. He's asking these questions all the time. He's like, why haven't you told us it's coming to PC? That's a legitimate question, I think. So,
Shadow Fox has an interesting question related to this exclusive going to PC. He says, do you think that this is the start of the end of exclusive titles for non-Nintendo platforms, meaning Sony and Microsoft? I think that's the direction they're gonna go. Nintendo, I think. We don't know though. The NX could be something. It could be completely encompassing like PCs. We don't know, but it does seem like the exclusives for those two companies is definitely dwindling, and they're trying to a lot more games hitting PC than ever before. It seems like.
Yeah, it's been like that since the beginning of the generation. To me personally, like most multiplats are on like everything now. Like, it's not just a simple and as we've seen with Xbox, supposed exclusives don't say exclusive for so long. Now, granted, Sony's been a little bit better with it, but I don't expect them to be that much better with it. I think they're only good with it right now because they got money right now. I'm actually, and they're probably still doing what they were doing
got
before.
Money?
Well, they're doing. Sony's doing a lot of.
Wise.
Sony's big on the console exclusive phrase. Like they've been pushing that.
Yeah, because they're in the lead this generation versus last generation where they were like, can you put out a port to play 3? I don't know, man. Your architecture's kind of hard to develop for.
It ain't gonna be good. It's gonna be Bayonetta up in here, man.
Oh, we're gonna talk about this.
But anyway, I think a lot of the PlayStation 4 exclusives are console exclusives, other than a few. So I think both companies are kind of heading that way. I don't think Nintendo's ready there. It's one of the things where you'd be glad they're behind the times as a Nintendo fan. You'd be happy sometimes that they're behind the times, because
they could stay behind the times on that for everything lasts, as far as I'm concerned.
Do we really view that as being behind the times, though?
It is because
the minute everybody does something, everybody else does something, and you don't do it, then that makes you behind. Even though it doesn't matter if that thing is good or bad, or if you didn't do it, then you're behind for not doing it. So in those terms.
Tony Curran says, since Bayonetta 2 is coming back to North American store shelves this Friday, do you think this Game of the Year 2014 title will reach the 1 million mark? He says the physical units are now at 970,000 according to
For
VG
sure.
Charts.
Yeah,
definitely.
it's inevitable.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I do want to say
son.
that Bayonetta 2 copy that's been at the store the last couple months, it was gone around the time she released on Smash. I went to the store and it was gone. It was fading from being so close to the fluorescent light bulb.
Oh, that
in the
sucks.
display case. But yeah, someone bought it. So
Well,
I was thinking about buying it, trying to sell it for jacked up price, but
He's a scalper. He's a scalper up in here.
but I
man.
didn't. So yeah, it's foregone conclusion. That game's at $1 million, and Bayonetta 3 is coming to the NX. No doubt.
Sure.
All right, Shadow Fox Infinite, which he says he wanted to hop on if there's room. I didn't see that earlier. So
Yeah,
sorry,
I
man.
wish I had mentioned it. I looked over and went, shit.
Yeah, even though I try to keep these podcasts under 2 hours now that I have a show on at 9 o'clock on Mondays. But apparently there's a Nintendo survey, and he's asked if we've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I just haven't filled it out.
It's something about how
The social media.
how people feel. Yeah, I feel like I've answered one of these before, but it says to him it appears they're gearing up for supporting Periscope, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, many other apps natively. He must be adding that part. I'm sure
Well,
it was just a
they did
survey.
it.
Well, granted, they have because I mean they're on Tumblr. I've realized that
Yeah.
recently.
I think they're just to me when they do that, I think they're just trying to branch out and see where the best
They're
fit
trying to
for
market.
advertising.
Yeah.
I think it's for advertising purposes myself. I don't necessarily mean it one way or the other means it's going to be on the console, the NX, but
Yeah,
to me I think it's for marketing. They want to know what people.
gotta rapid fire these things so Grandpa Juice can catch Andy Griffith.
Yo, you
Mother
dirty Plantain. God damn.
Oh, there's not a whole lot of questions actually. A lot of comments. Fire
Just
Emblem.
like
Fire Emblem Fates. It's an evergreen title. The game will sell throughout its retail life. That's true. I mean,
yeah, it will.
Yeah, it is.
especially if
Probably.
it's really good and people, it could be another word of mouth. But usually after a word of mouth title does 3-4 million, the next game's gonna sell really big, just like a sequel to a movie that no one expected to do well, like Deadpool 2. That's gonna be like record setting when that comes out, even if it's a
It's
crappy
probably gonna
movie.
be crap. It's
I
probably
already
gonna be
think
crap.
it will be. I have a theory about that. We'll talk about.
They
Off
blew
air.
their load.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Tony Coran, what are your thoughts on IGN? That's already. I already have no response because I don't have thoughts on IGN. But
Wait, what?
apparently, IGN gave Capcom and Sony Street Fighter V an 8 out of 10, and one of the cons apparently was editing one of the fighters' butt slaps before the.
Wait a minute. Is that true? Wait,
I don't know.
Give me a second.
I'm just shocked that this game got an 8 out of 10 with everything Pharrell said.
Yeah.
Why
that
are we
doesn't make
even?
sense.
Why are we even grading this game at this point? Because you don't have
No,
like,
re-review it later. Come on, man.
right. What happened to the review in progress that they do for a lot of other games?
Yeah, no, I
They
think
didn't do it
did
for Splatoon, but they did go back and re-review Splatoon. Sorry.
No, but
Right.
Splatoon they did like a 7.8 out of 10 or something like that, and then they re-reviewed it and gave it like an 8.1 or something. I just find that weird. I just find that weird because it's like Street Fighter V. Why is that above like Splatoon when it doesn't have?
When it has way
lot.
less. Come
Yeah,
on.
like
Because it's Street Fighter, man. It's
The
not
only
Nintendo.
the only negative I see is the missing features.
And it's still 8 out of 10. It's that good.
that means it's great. That means it's great. How does
I mean,
that make sense?
Yeah, from what every review I've seen, people said the core mechanics are really good.
I'm
and
sure it is.
the core
Yeah.
mechanics are really good, and it's the easiest Street Fighter game to get into.
It should be really good because that's all
Yeah.
they've done so far. was the core mechanics. That's all they worked on.
Well, actually, that's one of the pluses. One of the pluses is
Right, that's what I'm saying. It should be
focus
good.
on the fundamentals.
They did. You know what? I'm torn because I do feel a little bit hypocritical. I'm not saying like I didn't care about Splatoon. I don't care about Street Fighter.
Because I still get it. That's what
But the people, I definitely feel the people who complain about Splatoon should be complaining about this game even worse, like even more.
Yeah, but they're not. They're complaining about it, but to a lesser degree.
For one, because
And
this
they're-
game is quote unquote taking away from what you've had from
Mhm.
Obviously the stuff is coming later, but the day one game, there's a lot of complaints, right, about the day what you get day one
Uh huh.
is taking a lot away from what you used to getting.
Well, son,
know?
it's disgusting. The fucking
Like, so
the CPU shit automatically made me go, "You're out of your fucking mind."
I'm not the hypocrite. I think those people are.
The first thing I was gonna do tomorrow was gonna play Street Fighter 5 and play some CPU battles, but I can't do that, so I can't get.
You know what you're gonna do instead?
I'm gonna play.
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
You're gonna play the game, and you're gonna like it.
It's a full game.
I probably will though. I mean,
And beat at least 2 chapters.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Alright.
yeah.
And Shadow Fox, he said Dolphin doesn't even. The Dolphin emulator for Wind Waker didn't even come close, which I agree with. He feels Twilight Princess won't be any different. I think Twilight Princess, the Dolphin was a bigger improvement over the original than the Wind Waker Dolphin one, because they didn't do anything really.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's something we talked about way earlier. But that's it, you know. We're gonna wrap it up, put a bow on it. So that's gonna be it for this podcast.
Is this the Valentine's Day edition?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who we giving it to? Who we giving the gift to?
Actually, real quick, I do want to answer one of Tony Karan's questions.
Valentine is
Alright.
The his quote unquote final question: Who was Bayonetta's Valentine last night?
TVs.
Pit. Shut up. it was between Pit, Jean, Cloud, or Mario. Who was Bayonetta's Valentine last night?
Jean.
It should be one of us.
Nigga, you just like love lesbians. What?
No, I think Link would have been her choice. Or
Oh no, Pit's her choice. That's my thing. Pit,
he's just a short little.
son, everyone
You getting down with no angels?
ever since them trailers, people already been doing it. It's like
Cloud probably Cloud.
Well, no, that's just because he wants to dress him up like a girl.
She's not getting down with no angelic winged short dude. Like
Mhm.
She's a dominatrix, man. She's
She's 7
it.
foot tall. He's 3 foot tall. It just wouldn't work.
But maybe he's
She's
tall
into
where
that.
it counts. But
No
Maybe
offense
she's into that.
No offense to people who are height challenged.
he's a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. He is
She
a
did have
kid.
a little
Never
thing
mind.
She did have a little thing for that little cornroll dude in Bayonetta 2. That little bitch motherfucker.
Yo, what was that?
Whoa, man, you getting upset,
He
man.
got
Hate that guy,
real.
Loki.
Just put on the bandana real quick.
Worst part. He was the only thing about that game I didn't like was that.
Wow.
Just put on that
Tell us how you
bandana.
really feel.
You put on that bandana. I was like, I'm out the streets, y'all.
It's that damn British accent with the smart ass remarks and the
I thought she had a motherly thing for him, but nothing like I want to date this kid.
I don't know. Anyway, let's get to final thoughts. Terrell.
That was too real.
How do you follow
son.
that up?
That was too real, son. It's like you walked out of GTA like, what's up, motherfuckers? Okay. So we got this Splat Fest on Friday.
We do.
Yeah,
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Pokemon
the
thing
Pokemon.
on it. Which fuck me, you can't do that, Nintendo. Don't put a Splatfest out on a game release, you ass.
They always do that.
They did it for X or something, didn't they?
Yeah, it's
Mario
like
Maker or something.
yeah, it was. So we got the Splatfest, we got Fire Emblem coming out on Friday. I found out apparently Project X Zone comes out tomorrow. I didn't realize that. Fucking.
At least they're not putting games out on Sunday morning anymore. Like,
Whoa, God, I would break somebody's neck. It was so aggravating because you couldn't get the game. Because not everyone was like open early and shit. Like you
Yeah.
had to wait. And everyone was, oh, we're gonna get out of church because fuck you.
Sunday, the mall opens later. Everything opens
I
later.
was so mad. And then it's like you only got one day to play the fucking game. And it's like, oh, you're gonna go to school tomorrow.
All right, wrap it up, man. Wrap it up.
All right, sorry. Let's
Griffin, man, Andy
win. I caught you guys later. Shit.
Let's give it a win.
Hey man, at least I have a catchphrase.
Yep. All right, Robert. Anything you want to say?
If you haven't seen Deadpool, you gotta see it. I saw it for the second time, and it's so damn good. It's my second favorite movie of all time.
That's pathetic.
After 2 viewings, but after a weekend,
It's so good. It's so good. I
it's
love
got to
it.
stand up the test of time to be up there. But
Yeah.
And buy Unravel if you have either a PS4, Xbox One, or PC. Very entertaining game. You should definitely check it
I'll
out.
get it for when it's $10.
Damn. But it was really good, and yeah, that's it. My Valentine was Elma, even though I didn't really play the game. I didn't play the game.
That's another reason why you should beat the game, Robert. God.
Oh boy.
My my Valentine was kind of technically Deadpool because I saw
Stop
the
it.
movie.
Oh man,
Alright,
that just took a turn.
Mr.
That
T,
took a
final
turn.
thoughts?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, great podcast, guys. I just got Freeze Me on
Yeah,
Wii U.
that was really good.
Oh, is that? I heard
Pretty
it was
good
the-
little
I heard it was
3D
Buggy.
platformer.
It's fun. It's fun.
Throwback. It has a couple of issues here and there. I'm doing a video on it pretty soon, so check that out. So I'd had it up by now, but I had my computer got water damage, and that's a whole nother story. But as I always say, play Nintendo, folks, and let's watch Andy Griffith.
All right. I also want to say, go see Deadpool.
Yeah.
That movie. If it would have came out last year, I think it would have been my favorite movie of the year. It's too early to say this year, but I think that's gonna be. The movie's got a lot to prove to me now for the rest of this year.
We'll see it, and it better hold up.
I don't want to hype. I didn't want to hype it up, but the movie's good. Worth seeing in theater. It's very funny, very smart. A lot of the jokes are really good. So I don't know that 10 years from now they're going to be funny because a lot of current pop culture stuff. But I liked it, and also Rise of the Tomb Raider, amazing game. If you got Xbox One. I haven't played Smash since the last podcast because I've been playing Rise of the Tomb Raider and X.
Or PC.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
An Xbox One for that game anymore.
But yeah. So that's what I've been doing, and just looking forward to Twilight Princess HD, and then I don't know about Pokken Fighters, but we'll see. Pokken Tournament.
God damn, Robert! I thought I was the Pokemon fan. He was like, "You better get the name."
Yeah. So
Pokken
that's
Tournament,
it for
bitch.
the juice is loose. Gotta go watch my show.
It's gangsta juice going on today.
No, some reason when we got Mr. T and Robert on, our views are way down compared to.
I don't know.
But Dr. Feelgood brought the. We had a lot of live viewers.
They made everyone feel good.
So.
Because people ain't had nothing to do last week. This week they watching Andy Griffith.
So anyway, that's going to be it for this podcast. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time. Shut the fuck up.